Christmas here I am, boy. Gonna love you, gonna give you all I get, boy. Merry Christmas here I am, boy. I'm the present and you know it, here I am, boy.
Hi guys, welcome back. It is Vlogmas Day 4 and I'm here to give you guys a little chit chat, get ready with me / story time, where I tell you guys a little bit of the crazy stories about like some college friends that I've met along the way and give you guys a little life update about how life is going, where we're going moving forward, and what we have been doing this whole entire time. Without further ado and me blabbering on like I usually do, let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is tell you guys this crazy story about this girl that I met. We're gonna call her Tamara. I met Tamara, how did I meet her? When I was a sophomore, I was in this group chat with like 10 or 12 other people. We would just get together, plan pre-games for going out to the club, you know, doing young and dumb shenanigans and stuff like that. And so she was one of the girls in the group chat, and I was like, oh, when she sent her Instagram in the group chat, I was like, wow, this girl is like really pretty. And yeah, like we should hang out. And she rarely would talk in the group chat, but when she would talk, she was funny. She had good personality, and I was like, okay, this girl's cool. So, give me a second. I followed her on Instagram and we would reply to each other's stories, like them, be like, okay girl, you doing it, you cute and whatnot. Eventually we ended up hanging out. So the times that we hung out before, it was really cool, real chill. Like she was a person to where if we were out and I was like, all right, you know, it's about done run its course and I'm ready to go, she would be like, you ready? And I would be like, you ready? And we would be like, we ready? And we would leave. So it was cool. As I got to know her, she was telling me about how she didn't really have that many friends and how she like had all of these ideas about like stuff that she would want to do if she had friends, like cute trips, cute like brunch ideas, having places to wear like her cute clothes and whatnot. And I was like, yes girl, same. The only difference is I have always had like a lot of friends. I wouldn't say that I'm very extroverted. I feel like I'm becoming more introverted. I forgot that's why I don't record in here. I'm actually becoming a lot more introverted because not that I feel like I have too many friends, but I do get spread thin here and there with having so many friends that want to hang out. And it's not like a bad thing. Like I'm not complaining about the abundance and friendships and love that I have around me, you know what I mean? I'm very grateful for that. You know, it does get a little hectic trying to hang out with so many people and plan things with so many people and make sure that I'm fostering the relationships that I do have when I have other stuff going on in my life. So that was the difference between me and her. Like I actually did have a lot of friends. At the time, I didn't actually mind having more friends. So I was like, yeah girl, hang out with me, I'll introduce you to some of my girls and whatnot. So I did. Halloween came around, and if you're not familiar with how Halloween works in Tallahassee, it used to be a bigger deal. I don't know what happened this year, but it wasn't as big of a deal this year as it has been in previous years. Like people from UF, FAU, UCF, they all come up here and party and just have a good time. And also it usually falls after FAMU homecoming, so it's a very, very lit time. And you know, her not having that many friends, she didn't really have anybody to go with, so of course I introduced her to my friends because we were making plans and I wanted her to feel included and a part of it. That night, we get ready to go out. We ended up going to Baja's, but before Baja's, we were pre-gaming at my house. She came a little late, and by the time that she came, the liquor that we had was gone. And she brought a bottle of her own, but it wasn't really getting her to where she needed to be. And I could kind of tell, but I was like, I mean, well, when we get to the club, you could buy some drinks. And she was like, okay. We get to going on the way to the club. We Uber, she leaves her car in my house and her keys and whatnot, which is very important. I want y'all to keep that in mind. She left her car and her keys and her comfy shoes at my house because she had plans on coming back. We get to the club, we're standing in line, it's cool, we get inside. It's a good time, and then it comes time to leave. So, because we Ubered there, of course we have to Uber back. And I lived, I would say, not even like 5 to 7 minutes from Baja's. The only reason why we really had to wait is because it was like almost 2 o'clock in the morning, and we were just having to wait on being matched with an Uber. I'm like, okay, I got the Uber, booked the Uber XL. That's another reason why it takes a long time when you're booking at that time, especially with Uber XL, because not a lot of people have big cars to fit that number of people. So we're waiting. You know, October in Tallahassee, it gets a little chilly, and you know, we're outside in our slutty little Halloween outfits. So we don't really have that much cover, but you know, we're all together. The Uber's on the way. It's really not that far. It's like 10 minutes away. And all we have to do is wait. Sometimes with Ubers, it takes a little longer than the app says. So the Uber is taking just a little bit longer than it said. And we're all, you know, we know it's cold. But you know, the Uber is on the way, like I said. She takes it upon herself. She gets upset. She starts getting really irritable. And she's like, it's cold. Like, how far is the Uber? This, that, and the third. And I'm like, well, it's coming. It's going to get here. And at this point, you know, the liquor is wearing off. And she kind of starting to blow my high. And, you know, I'm tired. I want to go home just like everybody else. But we're waiting on the Uber. The Uber is literally on the way. She gets upset. And she's like, yeah, no, I can't do this anymore. And she taps this random guy who's walking out of the club on his shoulder. And she asks him where he's going, like what direction he's headed in. He's like, oh, I'm going back towards FAMU. And she's like, oh, well, can I ride with you? And I'm looking at her like she's damn crazy.
Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Because no way you are going to get in this random man's car. Luckily, he was a nice guy. But she really tapped this random man on the shoulder, was like, what direction are you heading in? Like a hitchhiker. And got in the car with him and left with none of her belongings. Like I said, she left her belongings at my house. She did not go back to my house. She went back to FAMU. When she left, I'm looking at my other friends and I'm like, no way that just happened. No way.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
And they're like, did she really just get in that car with that random man? And I was like, yes. And they were like, do they know her? And I was like, no, like I've never seen, she said she don't have no friends and she don't really know nobody like that. So for her to get in a car with a random man was really just boggling my mind. And at the time, you know, I was very, very, very nice and I didn't have that many boundaries. And I don't know, I kind of just felt bad for myself because I was like, I was so nice to this girl and then she leaves me and my friends that I literally just introduced her to that night at the club waiting for an Uber because she didn't want to wait in the cold with us. So she left with a random man from the club and went to FAMU. Didn't even come back to my house to get her car, her keys, her shoes until the next day. So that night, you know, I'm like, that's not something that you do. You could have put yourself in danger and you could have put everybody else in danger and then I would have been the last person to see you. I don't know who the guy is, didn't get his name, didn't get his information, don't know what car he drives. Something bad could have happened to her and people would have been looking at me like I was crazy. Like, why did you let her get in the car? One, she's a grown woman. Two, she chose to get in that car by herself. Three, she know well she didn't know that man and still got in his car. But yeah, so that was why I was upset, understandably so. So she comes to my house the next day. She's extremely apologetic. She's like, yeah, I don't know what came over me. I shouldn't have done that. That was wrong of me. I left you guys at the club. I feel bad because, you know, I probably made a really bad impression on everybody else. And I was like, girl, no shit. And you know, while she's there, she's getting her stuff, her car, keys, and her shoes and whatnot. I'm like, yeah, no, it's fine. You're good. Don't even worry about it. Because whole time in my head, I'm like, girl, I never want to see you again.
Dad, today.
But she's like, I am so sorry. Like, how can I make it up to you? Can I take you guys out? Girl, no. Take your car keys. Get your damn Uggs. Not even Uggs. They wasn't Uggs. Take your car keys. Get your damn Crocs and get out of my house. Because what the is that? Seriously, that is not something that you do. And so when she left, that was really the last time that I really heard from her. She sent an apology message. I was just like, okay, but yeah. So I was telling that story to say, one, be careful who you're being nice to, especially if you're like a really nice person. And take it as a red flag. Maybe not all the time, but like take caution when people are like, oh, I don't really have that many friends, or take it as a red flag when they're like, oh, I don't need that many friends, or they don't have that many friends and they're looking for a best friend, because that's when it starts to get a little territorial. So moving on to the next story. The next girl, we're gonna call her Nola. Oh, hold on. Jesus Christ. It's probably too much, but we do what we have to do. I met Nola when me and my friend Latoya went to a paint and sip at the Railroad Art District one night. I believe she was there by herself, but we also met another one of our friends named Kayla, who was also there. So I thought that she had came with the girls that were already at the table, but apparently she came by herself. We were just talking, you know, really get to know each other, and we were talking about the journal prompts that they had on the table, just really answering the questions, doing a couple of icebreaker, exchanging Instagrams, whatnot. I don't remember what came up, but they were like, what are you guys doing next weekend? There's this thing coming up for Latin night hosted by one of the events on campus. It's actually the vlog that I put up not last week, but the week before last, or the week before that. It was like maybe a month ago, okay? Not too much on me, but Yes, so it was actually that night that we were planning for it, and I was like, well, we're going to this event and you guys should come, because I felt like they were really nice. She was very like approachable. She wasn't giving like threatening, but she did say the words, yeah, I don't have that many friends. Me hearing that before, of course, I'm already like on edge about that, because I'm like, okay, how are you in college? You say you're like a sophomore, junior, and you don't have no friends. So I'm like, okay, you know, I'm trying to give the girl the benefit of the doubt, because a lot of people transfer, and sometimes a lot of people just kind of like stay to themselves, and a lot of people are working on just getting out there more and getting friends and just being more social. So because she was so nice at the event, I was like, yeah, you can come out with me and my friends. I just never learned. I hosted a pregame at my friend Java's house. It was really, really nice. We were playing Jeopardy. It was about like hip hop and R&B in the 2000s. And it was really cool. It was really fun. Everybody was drinking. We were on teams. We were just having a really good time. And then we went and we got our Ubers and we were on our way to the club. So we get to the club, we make sure everybody's accounted for. We're like, okay, cool. We went to pods, and once we got in, like I said, we made sure everybody was accounted for, and then we headed to the dance floor, because that's what we came here to do, dance. When I go out, I do not go out to stand around. I do not go out to look pretty. I do not go out to sip and sit in a corner. I go out to catch a vibe. I go out to juke and jive, you know what I mean? And so when I'm with my friend Java and I'm with my friend Latoya, and I had just met Kayla that night, but I knew Kayla was gonna turn up, and then Angel was also there. So I'm like, yes, we about to have a good night. So like I said, once we made sure everybody was accounted for, we head over to the dance floor. We on the dance floor, doing what we do, turning up. Sorry, y'all, hold on. We on the dance floor, turning up, having a good old time, juking and jiving, like I said. All of a sudden, some of us have to go to the bathroom. And you know, when you're at the club, we don't go to the bathroom by ourselves. We just link arms or hold hands, and we all go to the bathroom together. We all go to the bathroom together. It's all the girls. Java's on the dance floor with whoever decided not to go. I think it was Angel. We go to the bathroom, do what we need to do, wash our hands, take a few pictures, boom, bam, bam. We come out of the bathroom and we go back to the dance floor, and all of a sudden, Java's like, hey, where's Nola? And I was like, oh, well, Nola went to the bathroom with us. I thought she was right behind us. Because after the bathroom, we made sure everybody was around us before we went back to the dance floor. So I'm like, oh, hold on, let me call her. So I called her just to make sure, because maybe she just went back to the bathroom. We did have a little bit to drink, and we had some snacks at the crib, so maybe her stomach was messed up, or maybe she started her period. You just don't know why somebody might have stayed in the bathroom for longer or went back to the bathroom after we had already went back to the dance floor. She could have also been like about to throw up, you know what I mean? Some people can't handle their liquor. So I called her expecting her to just be like in the bathroom, or maybe just on the dance floor looking for us, trying to figure out where we were. I'm like, hello, and she's like, hello. And I was like, hey, where are you? We're looking for you. And she's like, I'm sorry, I can't hear you. She hangs up. I'm like, okay. So I head back over towards the bathroom, where it's a little bit more quiet, so I can call her back and she can hear me. I was like, I call her back, and she answered the phone. She's like, hello? And I'm like, hey, this is Masia. I was just wondering where you were, because we're looking for you. We hadn't seen you since we went to the bathroom. And she was like, oh yeah, I left.
Girl, what the f*** you talking about?
And I was like, well, who did you leave with? Because we took an Uber here and you don't got a car. And she was like, oh, well, I had someone come pick me up. Mind you, she said she don't got no friends. Who picked you up? Who picked you up? And I was like, oh, okay. And she was like, yeah, I just have really bad anxiety, and I was just getting a little overwhelmed when I was in the bathroom, so I just decided that maybe I should leave. And that's okay. I am someone who has also struggled with social anxiety. I get how overwhelming it can be and how impulsive you can be to just leave and make your quick exit. Now, what I didn't understand is why she didn't just tell somebody. Like, you obviously trusted us to come out with us and have a good time, and you trusted us to drink the liquor that we brought, that we had at the pregame. You trusted us to order the Uber. You see that we all making sure that we're all accounted for. You know that we're checking for each other. So why not tell somebody? If you're not comfortable with telling everybody, tell me, because I invited you here. Tell me, hey, I'm not really feeling it. I'm gonna go home. So when I was on the phone with her, I was like, hey, yeah, that's okay. You know, next time, would you like make sure that you tell someone, because we were really worried about you. We couldn't find you. We checked the bathroom. We checked the dance floor. You were nowhere to be found. And I just don't think that was very cool of you or considerate of you knowing that we're out here trying to have a good time and we don't know where you at, so you kind of ruining everybody's night when you really could have just told somebody you were going home. I was really upset about that, and once I left the club, we ended up having a really good time anyways that night. Once we got home, I was telling Java about how upset I was about it, because it wasn't even just that situation, it was also the situation that I was telling you guys about earlier with the girl Tamira, I think I named her. I'm like, every time that I'm nice to somebody that's like, oh, like, I don't really have that many friends and I'm really trying to venture out, they're like, yeah, like, I really want people to just be around and have a good time. And I introduced them to my friends. Like, it'd be cool the first time that I meet them, but as soon as I introduce them to my friends and they actually have people that they can meet, I don't know if it just makes them nervous. I try not to judge people. Everybody has a reason for doing stuff, but I'm like, damn, like, this is the second time that this has happened to me when I was literally just trying to be nice, and I made sure that only people that were accommodating, people that made sure that people were safe, were there to make her feel comfortable in both cases. And for them to just like leave like that, I don't know, it just really pissed me off. And so when the second girl did that, I was just like, yeah, no, we're not doing that anymore. Mind you, I already have a lot of friends. I actually have so many friends that I'd be encouraging my friends to get other friends, because girl, like, I can't hang out with everybody all at once. I'm just one person. And that's not me being boastful, that's not me being like braggadocious, whichever one, about like having a lot of friends. Like, when you're an extrovert, you just make connections and you just have a lot of people that want to spend time with you or just want to connect with you and like either make content or plan a party or host or do something like that. And sometimes it could just be a little overwhelming. So like I said earlier, like, I'd be encouraging my friend to get other friends. Like, do something else with somebody else, because I need more time for myself. I've been out a lot lately and it's just been taking a toll on me. I've been really trying to take better care of myself by staying in, limiting my interactions with others so I actually have more time to focus on myself, and just, having a woosah moment or a woosah day or a woosah week or a woosah month. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just need that. But I was telling those stories to say, be very mindful of letting people into your life when they already told you that they don't really have friends. Like, really question why they might not have friends. Just be cautious when you're letting them in, because you never know if you're really gonna keep them around for the long haul or if they're just there for that moment trying to experience something and then they leave. That's just two stories that were kind of similar that happened to me that really just impacted me in the way that I interact with people that say that they don't have friends like that, or that they haven't really been able to make friends. There's always a reason why. I'm not gonna say that there's something wrong with them, but they just don't know how to properly socialize yet. And sometimes that might end up making you feel a certain way when they just up and leave, when you've done everything you could in your power to make them comfortable. Moving on, I realized I didn't even tell y'all what I was getting ready for. I'm literally getting ready to go watch the game at this new restaurant in College Town called Bowden's. I haven't been there before. I haven't heard nobody talk about it. I literally found it when I looked it up for like restaurants that were gonna play the game. And y'all know I'm a very big FSU football fan, and I've tried to watch every single game this semester because of the fact that we are undefeated. I watched other seasons of games just as much, even when we were losing. So y'all know I'm not a bandwagoner. I am not a bandwagoner. I love the FSU football team. I've really just been keeping up with it and just making time to like actually go, because like a lot of my friends, they're not into football, or they just don't be caring about what the football team is actually for. Like, they just want to get dressed up and go get drinks, which is fine, but I actually care about watching the game. And that's another way that I've been showing myself a little bit more care, by going out and doing things that only I just want to do, because that will make me feel like I'm not just doing things that other people want to do, or that people bring up and it's not something that I'm really interested in, if that makes sense. So that's what I'm getting ready for. I know it seems like I'm getting ready for bed, but I just really wanted my skin to be good for when I take the thumbnail picture for this. And also, I just wanted to have a little woosah moment check-in with you guys and really update you guys about my life while I'm taking care of myself and getting ready to go out. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about living single. It's cool, Sometimes it gets hard, when you're laying in bed and you're like, wow, I could really use a cuddle right now. Or when you just see stuff on TikTok or Instagram where people are just doing really cute romantic stuff with their partners and you're like, when is it going to be me? But other than that, like, I have been really focused on fostering my relationships with my friends and really focused on fostering my relationship with myself as well, and making sure that I am okay and making sure that I'm still secure in myself and that I'm not gonna say that I don't need validation, but I don't seek validation from others, and I'm sure myself without having to rely on the reassurance from others. So that when I do meet someone really special, if it's you, and you're listening, and you're wondering, you know, what I be doing. I'll be outside sometimes. I'm inside for right now, but I'll be outside soon, and I hope you catch me, and I hope you say something. But yeah, anyways, yeah, when I do actually meet someone special enough to actually love me in the way that I want to be loved, I'm not gonna say that I've been loved before, because like I said in my journal entry yesterday, I don't know if y'all seen it, I don't know if y'all read it, but love and abuse cannot coexist at the same time. And I've had relationships that weren't necessarily physically abusive, but there were things that we did to one another that don't really correlate to loving someone. Like, those are not things that you would do if you really love someone, like icing them out, blocking them, unblocking them, ghosting them. What else people be doing? What else do I be doing? Like ignoring them for a certain amount of time, like just doing stuff that you know that if you truly love someone, you would not be doing to them, because you wouldn't purposefully try to manipulate or hurt the person that you love. So yeah, I have been cared for, and that's the terminology that Bell Hooks used in her book, All About Love. This is not promo, I am not sponsored, but I really do just love that book, and that has really changed my perspective about how I look at love moving forward. And when I do find somebody that loves and cares for me in the way that I really want to be loved and cared for, like I said, I've been cared for in the past, but it has not been in the way that I really have wanted it to. So when I do get somebody that does, I'm not looking to them to give me the love that I'm supposed to be giving myself. I want them to just give me the love that they have for me in the way that I want it. And I want to give them the love that I have for them in the way that they want it. You know what I mean? Because that's how it's supposed to work. And I don't want to have to play mind games. I don't want to have to manipulate someone into doing the things that I want them to do. I don't want anybody to feel like they have to manipulate me into doing the things that they want me to do. And I just really just want it to be a genuine love and care. So I've been really just taking care of myself and really trying to like learn from my platonic relationships about the things that I want in my romantic relationships, because I realized that you really can't be in a relationship with someone that, or a romantic relationship with someone that you wouldn't be in a platonic relationship with. Like, I know a lot of people, no shade, no tea, y'all are in relationships with people that y'all wouldn't even be friends with. If your lover is not your best friend, and you know, I don't really use the terminology best friend like that, but if the person that you are in love with and doing the act of love with is not someone that you find can be there for you and can be reliable and has the same intentions and goals and outlooks on life and mind and care and love for you as you have for them on a basic level, you should not be in a relationship with them, or you should not be in a romantic relationship with them. And that's just my outlook on it. You can have whatever outlook you want. Obviously, do what you gotta do. If you wanna hook up with somebody just because, go ahead, but that ain't for Masia. Masia can't do it. If you wanna stay in your little situationship because it's just comfortable for you and you just think that that's the best that it's gonna get, or that's the best that it gets for right now until you move on, go ahead. Everybody is at different places in their life. Everybody is doing different things. Do what you gotta do to better yourself, and make sure you're taking care of yourself, and make sure that that person that you're spending your time with and that you're spending your life that you only get one of with is really, really worth it, and that is taking care of you just like you take care of yourself. With that in mind, you know, I've been trying to get out there a little bit more, but something I've been working on more is not approaching the people that I'm interested in, because I realize that when I do that, it makes them take a more passive role when it comes to like furthering the relationship and really getting to know me, and they expect me to like plan a date. Like, I'm just a lady, I'm just a girl. They expect me to plan the day, ask the questions, like lead. I'm a great leader. Don't get me wrong. I'm an extrovert. I can talk very eloquently. I can do what I need to do. But I can't do it for the both of us. You gotta put in some work. Previously, I've been I'm not gonna say that I was the only person putting in work, but I was the main person, I would say, putting in work. And I just don't want it to be like that no more. And I would like to be approached and have somebody take the lead from me, because I already know that I can do that, but I would like for somebody else to show me that they can also do that as well. So we can take turns. What's wrong with taking turns? What's wrong with sharing? We can share the lead. We can both play the role. You know what I'm saying? It's the way you act. It's the way you act. So that's really what I'm looking for. And I have had someone approach me this semester, and it just kind of was dry. Now, something else that I'm working on these days with having relationships with people and just like trying to like really get to know them and be understanding, but in a way that I can still keep my boundaries and not let people walk all over me. It's just kind of like knowing where to draw the line when it comes to people being busy, because I'm a busy girl myself. I be vlogging for fun, really vlogging just to get famous so I don't have to work, but for fun right now. I be doing my schoolwork. I be handling my finances. I be making sure that my house is clean. I be hanging out with my friends. I be doing extracurricular stuff, which we won't probably be doing next semester because that really ran a nigga into the ground this semester. But I be doing extracurricular things, and I do a lot of stuff on the side for myself to just make sure that I'm taken care of. And I know with all of that list of things that you just heard me say, you're like, Major, where do you even have time for romantic love? Girl, I'll make time. I will make the time. Do you hear me? The time can be made. Now, the problem is when I meet other people who are also busy and they just haven't really adapted that skill to really make the time, I try not to take it personally, because I know everybody hasn't really experienced, because I've had a boyfriend before, and I've also, like, even though there were situationships, I've also been in situations where I have had to make time for somebody that I was romantically involved with. But everybody hasn't had that, or they haven't had that as often as they would need to develop the skill of good time management, you know what I mean? I'm finding that the people that are approaching me that are really busy, they just don't have that skill yet to really make time for me, or as much time as I would like, and be forward with it or intentional with the way that they make time for me. And like I said, I try not to take it personally, but it does feel like you must not really like me for real if you don't know how to manage your time wisely enough to fit me in, you know what I mean? And so that's something that I've been working on with trying to date other people and just get out there and be understanding towards other people's schedules. But y'all gotta come with the skill, because Major got the skill. Major can go on her planner, see where she got time, tell you, I got 4 to 6 on Friday. Cool, can you work with that? You can't? You got Tuesday at 5 to 6? Okay, I can do that. We can take a little walk around the park, get to know each other a little bit, go on about our merry way and plan another day from there. It don't have to be that damn hard. But I'm realizing that it's that hard for other people, and that is okay. But it's just very hard for me to understand why is that goddamn hard. But it's not that goddamn hard for me. It is not that goddamn hard for my friends. So why the hell is it that goddamn hard for you? It's okay though. It's getting a little hot in this bathroom, so we're gonna take a break, do a little montage of me putting on my outfit, and I'll come back to you guys when I'm doing my hair.
Got a drop on this flexing nigga. He from Tennessee, I had a thought. She be with this shit, she told me where he be. I say for sure, baby, let me know if you wanna eat. She like, Vaughn, you already know, just put your girl on fleek. I'm like, cool, I can do that, boo. What you want, some shoes? Jimmy Choo, with a handbag too. Red up, baby, boo, she get the smile. She ain't used to this, she ain't used to shit. I'm just laughing, could've been the way I move my lips. I be speeding, could've been the driver, the way I push the whip. You a hoe, could've been a bitch, the way you throw a fit. But fuck that, right back to the script, cause this a major league. He got bricks, plus his neck and icy, and it matches wrist. Now it's like 6, told her hit his phone, meet her in the whip, but he ain't go. But he ain't that slow, say meet him at the store. I'm like, cool, let him run his move, do what he gon' do, cause this the plot. Put him in the pot, let it cook like stew, I grab my Glock. If it do a lot, but it's this you like, no, we at the top. Yeah, we lost a lot, but that's just how it go. But check the scope, if y'all lose one more, that's 6 to 24. Let me focus, can't be zoning out. He pulling up now, he double pop. He ain't getting out, he in that push to start. That new Porsche is built like a horse, colors like like the 4. He got a ring, I guess he ain't divorced. Wife probably a whore, now she woke up, she strutting her stuff. This bitch thick as fuck, got in the truck, kissed him on his lip. He cupping up, crouching like a tiger, like Snoop off the wire, the block on fire. So I take a cost, mess with Michael Myers. I'm on his ass, he finna be mad, he gon' beat her ass. But this what happened, I got to the door, I thought I was capping, I was slacking, cause that go to up, yelling I was cracking. I'm like what? I'm like nigga who? I was born to shoot, I got aim, I'm like Johnny Dane, when it comes to
I'll be your role model. Don't need out tomorrow. Gonna be what all tomorrow. Tell me what you want.
I know I said I was gonna come back before I finished, but now I'm finished and I've got to start taking some Instagram pictures. Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 6:19 p.m.
It is currently 6:19 p.m. I have a reservation at 7 o'clock, so that means I have to leave my house in the next 10 minutes in order to get there on time. In order for me to be able to take pictures and get there on time, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video right here. Thank you guys for listening to my crazy antics and all of my little spiels and my hot takes and whatnot. I'm so glad that you guys are watching my Vlogmas. I was so excited to do Vlogmas this year. I'm really being successful with my schedule and my strategy that I'm using right now, and it means a lot to me that you guys like, comment, subscribe, and just actually watch the videos, even if it's playing in the background. Like, I really appreciate you. And yeah, I just want to say thank you, and without further ado, I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.